So we're back to 26K as Microsoft and Apple deliver the mail once again. Let's get to Bob Pisani.
Yeah, Carl, the most important thing here is we're seeing the continuing dominance of the tech names, and particularly semiconductors and mega cap tech names, and the struggle for the cyclical names, the real problems the banks are having, industrial stocks are continuing to have, and energy stocks as well. So here you see techs, again, dominating consumer discretionary, which is tech-oriented. Healthcare is doing a little bit better today. That's interesting. But remember, biotech's been on a tear recently. And there you see energy just barely on the upside. Banks now essentially flat, but acting horribly in the last month or so. Mega caps here, of course, we got the new highs essentially on Apple and Microsoft. As well as Amazon. But you see every single day when these stocks move up 1% and they're almost 20% of the S&P 500, that's going to move the overall index. I mentioned tech in July. It's very hard to keep moving the market up when essentially you've got a bunch of semiconductors and mega cap names moving, but that's really what's going on here. You look at Salesforce or NVIDIA or Akamai or Microsoft or Apple. This is just in a few trading days on the upside, and they tend to help move the market forward. Meantime, banks are just acting horribly. The regional banks are back towards where they were in late May before they had a modest rally. They've all fallen back now. These are all inverted V shapes. Zion, Huntington, these are the big super regionals. Fifth Third, PNC. This is just in the last few trading days. This is July that I'm talking about. So you can see the declines there. Industrials, similar, but there's a little bit of a bifurcation. Yes, you've got the problems with the airlines and some of the big global industrials like Textron, a very good bellwether to watch. Lockheed and aerospace is tough. But then we have the logistics and shipping companies. FedEx has behaved very well since its earnings report, even though we have problems, of course, shipping to businesses. Individuals are doing well. UPS also been doing well. And logistics like Robinson, they've also all been up. So a little bit of bifurcation in the industrials. Overall, where are we in summer trading, folks? The minute we had the quadruple witching at the end of June here, we had a much narrower trading range. We had lighter volume and breadth fairly unimpressive. This is very characteristic of what happens after the quadruple witch in June here. David was mentioning the Rocket Mortgage. I find this fascinating, and he's right. This could be the largest IPO of the year. We don't know yet, but it's going to be north of $2 billion here. We've had some big IPOs this year. That Royalty Pharma, $2.2 billion. Warner was almost $2 billion. Dun & Bradstreet, 1.7. Albertsons was really big as well. Why is a mortgage company so interesting? Why is it garnering so much attention? It's not so much the mortgage. It's FinTech. It's that magic word, FinTech mortgage companies. And some of these FinTech consumer stocks have done really well. Look what happened to Lemonade recently. They're renters insurance, folks. I mean, talk about not getting excited, but look how well it's done. SelectQuote does essentially insurance as well, Medicare related. It's done really well since its IPO. So why wouldn't a mortgage company that has got very respectable brand name behind it also garner a lot of interest? My point is, you got FinTech, you got consumer, you've got IPO market that's hot, you have a stock market that's moving up. It's little wonder why you're getting companies out there that are reporting, and particularly when you get returns like this, and yes, these are all either tech-oriented or biotech-oriented in the case of Moderna, as you see right there. The IPO ETF, meanwhile, hitting historic highs. This is a basket of about 60 stocks of IPOs that have gone public just in the last, usually 2 years. That's about the cutoff point. So we're also got some reports today, Palantir yesterday, but some reports Alibaba's Ant unit may be filing in Hong Kong. We don't have a confirmation on that yet, but there are reports out there. The SEC is going to be holding a roundtable tomorrow discussing some of the issues around emerging market companies, particularly Chinese companies listing in the United States. The SEC is unhappy about the fact that their regulators don't have access to the auditors and to the auditing reports of Chinese companies that list in the United States. There is a movement afoot to get very serious and push back on that. And maybe some of these new listings in Hong Kong is a response to concerns about that. I'll be covering that tomorrow, Carl, but this whole thing is heating up. Remember, Marco Rubio's got a bill out there that would force the SEC to delist companies from China that don't follow U.S. regulatory rules.